Mike Bearlack here to share with you quickly before bed and try to make this a short one. God so loved the ducks. I heard a joke recently that I thought was hilarious. I thought it was so hilarious I was still thinking about it the next day or days afterwards. And I started to philosophize the point of the joke or the symbolism, the symbolicness of the joke. So, the joke goes, I'll start by just telling the joke. The joke goes, there's three women. They all perished together in a car accident. Three women who are friends, they all perished together in a car accident, and they go up to heaven. When they get there, God says, everybody's welcome in heaven, we just have one rule. Don't step on the ducks. Now, the God in this fable obviously has a thing for ducks because they're all over the place. It's almost impossible to not step on a duck. So, the first woman, goes along and soon enough, she steps on a duck. God says, okay, well, you are eternally bound now to this ugly guy. This ugly guy right here. You are eternally bound for all eternity to this ugly guy. So the second woman, she pans out a little bit better than the first. She goes a little longer, but eventually she steps on a duck. God says, okay, well, you are forever bound to this homely-looking gentleman over here. For all eternity, you're bound to this homely guy, homely-looking guy, for all eternity. So the third woman is extra special careful. Maybe in life things didn't come as easy for her as it did for her other two friends. But she's very careful. She goes a month, didn't step on no ducks. And then all of a sudden, one day, she finds herself bound to this gorgeous, handsome gentleman. And she says, I don't know what I did, sir, to deserve to be bound to you for all of eternity. And the handsome gentleman says, I don't know what you did, ma'am, but I stepped on a duck. God so loved the ducks. So, I think in this little joke, I started to read into it. I think I want to be one of the ducks that God is so fond of. God obviously loves these ducks deeply, equally, and without condition. I mean, God so loved the ducks. If this was a real thing, I think I would want to be one of the ducks. I think the three girls and the three guys, even the three guys in the story, they represent the ones who the ducks represent. I think us, the everyman, the everywoman, the commoner. But I think the three girls and the three guys, even in the joke, are the ones. They represent the ones who assume they have favor with God. Just because, or they don't, they believe they don't need God when they were alive, or, and I think this would be the saddest one, they just simply never knew God, and that would be the saddest one, and it would be a Christian's fault. The Christians would be at fault with that for obviously not spreading the good news without pressure. The whole thing about the only wholehearted repentment is really the only thing that is needed to know God. Pretty sweet deal if you ask me. Especially if you consider the evilness of this world. Yes, sir. God so loved the ducks. So, I guess I should give a quick health update. I figured something out last night. I've been working a lot, and even making time to work out. What I've been doing is, as soon as I get home after working the two jobs, I make sure I lift, my weights before I eat something, because I know once I eat something, I ain't gonna last too much longer before I gotta crawl into bed and go to sleep. So I've been having success with that. But last night I made a mistake. This is a mistake I used to make pretty much every night for years of my life. I couldn't figure out why my body wasn't satisfied after the little bit of protein from my dinner. And I kept grabbing for another cookie, and a chip, another cracker, another cracker. Well, long story short, I severely dehydrated my body and woke up with a migraine that lasted all day until now. In the future, but I'm kind of glad this happened. See, like I said, this used to happen. This used to be a daily, nightly thing for me for many years. But I figured out a solution for it going forward. Whenever I get that feeling, like I find myself grabbing a second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh cookie cracker, chip. Instead of doing that, I'm going to chug a half-gallon of skim milk. I've done that just because in the past, and it seems to work. The only side effect of that is I wake up at least 2 or 3 times in the middle of the night to pee, but I go right back to sleep, so it's not really that big of a deal. Yeah, but like what I was saying with about God, the only thing you need for a relationship with God is a wholehearted repentment. That is a sweet deal, considering how evil this world is. I never thought I'd live to see the day where college kids would become the enemy of the state. See, isn't that viral TikTok video of Osama bin Laden's letter to America? And these kids are making videos agreeing and freaking praising what he's saying in this video? Huh. I wonder all those children, the 3,000 Americans or something like that died that day in 9/11, and all those kids that grew up without parents because of that. I wonder if I know, the government raised them. The college system raised them. We're doomed. And now an update on my father, Paulie. So I just found out today he sold his car. As soon as he said those words, part of me looked up and said, "Thank you," because I knew I was free. That means that he's not going to be able to come around here anymore. Maybe once every 2 months, I'll go over there one day that I can, and give chicken scraps that I'll keep in the freezer for Annie, the dog. But so I looks like I'm going to have my Saturdays to myself again. That's good, considering I work 2 jobs. But, he sold his car. I can't imagine he got that much money for that car. But anyways, he sold his car so he can sell his script to Sony. This is his big plan. He's going to sell his script to Sony. He tried calling me again and again and again all day, but I blocked him. And that's a nice little modern convenience I do appreciate with modern technology. Because I know probably none of that's going to happen unless the church helps him with it. And you know what? I wish him well. I hope he sells his script to Sony and Sony loves it and he makes millions. I wish him well, but I won't have no part of it. Because for me to be a part of it, I would have to agree with his philosophy to life. And one of those is to be anti-Israel. And I'm not anti-Israel. And I'm not the kind of person that compromises his principles for money. Even though I admit there are a lot of people in this world that do just that every day. I choose to work. Ah, jeez. Okay, I didn't want it to be this long, but oh well. So, who is God? Well, I guess somebody like Bill Maher, I guess God would be human science and reasoning. That would be somebody like Bill Maher, who was a pretty well-known agnostic atheist. I guess his God would be human science and reasoning. Like, was it C.S. Lewis? I think it was the guy. There's a quote from him. "I believe in God like I believe in the sun. Because of it, I see everything else." I thought that was a pretty good quote. But growing up, I was a kid, I would hear many bitter people in my life that would say, a bitter person who was just dissatisfied with their life for whatever reason. They'll go say stuff like, God does not exist. So as a child, I didn't really have much to say. I'd just say, okay, you're right, and then go into the corner and hide. But my way of thinking now, when somebody says that to me, God does not exist, it does not compute to me. Because in my mind now, God is existence. So how could God not exist if God is in fact existence? Mike Barilak, thank you for your time.